If you want to master badminton, you need to learn the 4 main grips: V grip, backhand, bevel, and panhandle. You need to learn how to hold the 4 grips properly, and very important that you need to learn the principle of soft hand and finger power. Once you master when to use each of those 4 grips, your badminton game will significantly improve. So I want to teach you about those 4 grips in the next few minutes, and your games will change forever. The most important grip you need to learn is your V grip. So in order to form the V shape, your hand got to be on an angle like this. And as you wrap your finger around, make sure you have the gap between the index and the 3rd finger, and it is this gap that allows you to form the V. Because without that gap, you're going to have more like a hammer grip. So you want this gap here where the index finger essentially hook around the grip, and that's where you get the V. The position of the bottom of the V is the important part. Some people like to tell you the V sits on the small flat part of the handle. I've been told by a BWF level 2 coach, and I agree as well, is that V is going to be slightly to the left of that little left bevel ridge. So if you were to hold your racket like this, make sure that V is on the left hand side of the frame, and then from there you bring it down, and the V should sit nicely towards the left side of that left ridge of the handle. So if you were to imagine shaking hand with me and you hold the V grip, that racket should be slightly on an angle. So going back to the principle of soft hand, it is so important for you to try to learn not to hold the racket in the palm, but more towards the bottom of the fingers. When you hold towards the palm of the racket, you find that there's no gap. And when there's no gap in your palm, it is extremely difficult to what I call finger power, is where you squeeze the racket and get this huge amount of racket speed in a very short space of time. So as you can imagine, if I have soft grip like this, and I squeeze, that's a lot of power in a very small movement. And that kind of finger power is where you need for the big smash and for the big clear. So this way I learned to squeeze rather than big swing like that. You cannot squeeze that racket without space. So the V grip is great for getting ready. So you'll find that you're going to use a V grip for a lot of your game. You're getting ready, you're clear, your slice, your reverse slice. A lot of shots are done with the V grip. The next most important grip you need to learn is your backhand grip, where the shuttle go over here. If you hit the backhand with a V grip, you're going to find you need to use a lot of wrist power. And that is not nice on your wrist, and it's going to lead to a lot of injuries. And this is where the backhand grip come in. They call it the thumb grip. I call it the thumb flat grip. So essentially, you're going to put your thumb on the racket face, bring it straight down so it sits on the large flat part of the grip. So if the racket's flat like this, you put your thumb underneath it and you wrap the other 4 fingers above. Once again, lots of gap. So you're going to use your thumb grip when the shuttle goes to your left hand side, where you get a huge amount of power with just the squeezing of the grip. All right? So you can only use a thumb grip when the shuttle is in front of you. When the shuttle behind you, you can't. Okay? So you can use it to drive, you can use it to spin, you can use it to lift, you can even use it to smash. But only if the shuttle is in front of you. So you also need your backhand grip when it comes to playing double for defense. The bevel grip is the 3rd grip you need to learn. So this where, similar to the backhand thumb grip, similar grip, exactly the same grip, but now instead of the thumb being on the large flat part, you're going to rotate this racket away from you a little bit. So now the thumb is on the bevel. That's why they call it the bevel grip. The bevel grip so important for you to learn to have the soft hand once again, because the bevel grip is used for your net spin at the front court. The soft hand is so important to allow you to have the control of the spin, the power, the height, the distance, and if you have tight grip, it's next to impossible. Yeah. Soft hand so that it can absorb a lot of the impact and allow the shuttle to spin. The bevel grip is also required for you to do your cross-court shot, because if you were to hold in the bevel and the thumb grip, it's very difficult to turn the racket to go to the other side with a thumb grip. But the bevel grip allows you to do that a lot easier. Another important use of the bevel grip is the light backhand. So when the shuttle goes behind you and you use your thumb grip, as you can see, the racket's facing outwards. So in order for me to square up the racket, I had to twist my arm and my body in a very uncomfortable position. But simply by turning from my thumb to the bevel, now suddenly the racket's facing straight. It's much easier to keep the shuttle in the court by using the bevel grip. Right? So if I use it with a thumb grip, it will go out. Now if I go bevel grip, I can keep in the court behind me. I can drop, I can clear, I can go cross court if I want to. The bevel grip is really important for the light backhand. The last important grip you need to learn is the panhandle, where the racket head faces directly forward to the other side. To do a panhandle, you stay in your V grip once again. You're just now going to rotate the racket so that it's completely face the front, but don't hold a hammer grip, which is like this. You're still going to be in that beautiful soft hand, like the V, and simply it'd be like this. So now your thumb is on the side ridge of the grip. So this is your panhandle. Once again, soft grip, lots of gap to allow you to squeeze. The panhandle is needed to do forehand drive. Why? If I'm in my V grip and for me to square up the racket, oh, that's a lot of twisting of the hand. So rather than twist the hand really weird, you just simply allow that thumb to be on the side. Now it's much easier to squeeze and attack. And I can do soft shot, or I can do squeeze. The panhandle grip is needed to do a net kill at the front court. So when the shuttle is very close to the net, you can't just tap forward because you're going to risk hitting the net. So you're going to do a windscreen wiper shot, and you need the panhandle grip in order to have this lateral motion to do the net kill. So when the shuttle close to the net and I tap, that's what happened. I will hit the net. I need to learn to do the swipe so that I don't hit the net. You see how I don't hit the net? And you need this motion from the panhandle grip. Another very important use of the panhandle grip is when the shuttle is really, really far behind you on the backhand, and even with the bevel grip, as you can see, it's still facing outward. So when I'm very late to the backhand, I need the panhandle in order to square up the racket. With the panhandle grip, the shuttle was behind me and I was still able to keep the shuttle in. So hopefully this master guide has given you lots of great information about how to hold the four grips and how to use them in various situations in the game. The most important thing for you to take away is soft hand and finger power. And apart from that, you just need to practice lots and lots and lots to get used to them, how to hold them, how to generate power, and how to control the shot that you need to do. Hopefully the video is helpful, and I think once you practice these four grips, your badminton game will change forever. So comment below, let me know what you think. If you start using these tips, let me know how it goes. I always love to know how the videos can help people out there in the world. Thank you so much for watching. Squeeze the subscribe button, click more videos on here, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.